Right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new episode of Mar Talks Football. We're going to be kicking things off with the Rules Roundtable, and then we're going to go into a lovely sports hot takes. Now, I have been told that I'm a very negative person, according to Facebook, and I've been told that I post things for clickbait, according to Facebook, and I've also been told by Facebook, by 4 or 5 white old men, that we're a good side. So, as you watch this video for the first time, if you are watching this, hopefully you will hit the like and hit the subscribe, because what I'm going to do for you is the most positive 1-1 draw ever. And then we're going to go into some other chats as well. I am going to go way over the top. Well, let's talk about the 1-1 draw, the most exciting draw of the season so far, with us having 60% possession. Not only that, having 16 shots in total, only 3 of them on target. Do you know what? It's better than having 1 on target. We had 3 out of 16. We had 7 shots off target, we had 6 shots blocked, and we had 84% passing complete. Oh my fucking God. What a performance. Utterly unreal. We had T. Roberts scoring the first goal of the game for Mansfield. They should have got a second. But do you know what? The most positive linesman in the world made sure that we didn't concede a second goal. And Jack Marriott scored 5 goals in 5 games. And he is the best striker in the whole entire world. I can't do this anymore. So let's be honest and let's be realistic. That front part was for the Facebook group that decided to absolutely shit on me for me putting a post out of why is it not clicking. And we did a show on here a few weeks back where I did a tactical mindset of what needs to change inside of Reading Football Club. I put a better understanding of where the players play and the positioning of it. He changed the formation today. I don't know whether it was the same for last week, but he changed it for today. And then compared to the last home game, when he turned the last home game in the final 10-15 minutes of when we were able to complete the comeback to a 4-2-3-1, and he did the same thing today. He started with a 4-2-3-1. He had Lewis Wing and Savage in the middle, who Savage is sort of getting all of the shit, playing poorly. Yeah, corner kicks were terrible, but Ben Elliott couldn't do any better. I don't get the hype around Ben Elliott. I'm not a Ben Elliott fan. I think he's a good player. Is he better than what we got on that pitch? No. Kamari Doyle played quite well in that number, I think it was like a number 8 role, just behind the striker, did really well with that. And if you look at the overall, let's look at the positives of the game. We controlled possession well. When Richie come on, he made an absolute massive difference. And I don't understand what that man has to do to start, because I'm not impressed with Paddy Lane at the moment at all. He had that one good goal and hasn't done anything for me since. He is very hit and miss with Paddy Lane. I haven't really got behind him. He scored the goal that was disallowed in the first half. And I think there is a problem at the moment with Reading, where if we look at things back to front, okay, defensively poor. You had the back four that were so disused. And they look like a back four that has no clue what the fuck to do. Finn Burns played, I think, one of his best games he had. A couple of misplaced passes, yeah, but his headering, the towering that he done, the going at the strikers, really putting pressure on them, that is the best he's done. Dorset he's very good at blocking, and he's very good at the control movement, but he isn't someone that you're going to give possession to and try and control the way things go. He's just not someone who could do that. He's someone that you would have in a back four in the left-hand side, like what Matty Jacobs does. But you would have him as in football manager terms, a central fullback, where basically he's a centre-back playing left-back. And that's the role. You're just defending the whole time. You're not going forward. You're not doing anything. Then you have the midfield. I think the midfield of, if we're going to go with the three, Savage, Lewing, and Doyle's probably the right three to go for. I think Lane and Karawa and Daniel Karawa are not the combination. I think Karawa is. I think Richie should be on the other wing. I think Daniel brings a different element where he will just shape up a defender and go at them. And Paddy Lane sort of just tries to cut inside and look for a pass, but it's not there. It seems to be there's not the runs or there's not something there to help him. And Marriott up top, one of the best strikers we've had in a very long time. 5 goals in 5 games, superb form that he's in so far. Can hit it and score from anywhere. Absolutely tremendous. But we have, and I've said this before, a top 7 team. Individuals, they're top 7. If we get all the injuries back, that's a top 7 side. And that's not me saying that as a Reading fan. That's me saying that with someone who has fucking eyeballs. The issue we have got is we are so out of shape defending and in the final third. Defending that back four is so exposed. Where you have Ahmed that goes forward, he needs to learn, and he will only get that by match play and being in matches, when to really go forward and when to chill and leave that to someone else. The issue he's also got as well in that final third is there's not enough people overloading the box. You've got Wing on the edge, you'll have Savage on the edge, you'll have Kamari Doyle in the middle, with whoever winger isn't using the ball. So you sort of got that option as well. There's not enough fluid movements in the final third. There's not enough when they get into the final third to change things up. I was sat there talking to a guy who I sat there next to and spoken to for about 10 years. And 6 years, I would say, sorry. And we discussed that they are stuck in the play that they had today. And it was worrying because the play that they had today was very much of get it from the goalkeeper, give it to the centre-backs, and then launch it forward. It just didn't work. There was no plan B, maybe go long from a goal kick. Plan C, change things up from a goal kick to do things differently, to take the pressure away from the back two. It was the worst, positive, it was the best worst performance for a draw I have seen in a long time. Mansfield are not a great side, let's be fair. But we fucking made them have that. And I worry drastically for us. So if we look at the league table now. So if we look at it now, we currently now sit 1 point away from the relegation zone with the game in hand. Over Wycombe Wanderers, who are 1 point below us in 20th. We are 19th. Burton Albion and Rotherham, 2 teams that are below Wycombe on 9 and 8 points of them. They are on 10 games played. We're on 10. We have a game in hand over Northampton. If we win our game in hand, we can move up to probably 15th. I would say 16th would be the worst. In other positive news as well, we're 9 points away from 6th. So, yay. Really trying to be positive right now. Like, I don't know how more positive I can probably be for being told that I am very negative when I'm probably one of the most positive Reading fans on this fan base, of trying to look at everything in a positive light instead of going full-blown negative. But the issue we've got is we've got MK Dons coming up on Tuesday, the second match, match day 2 of the group stage for the Football League Trophy. we will be. It's MK Dons. We're at home. We need to smash them. As simple as that. And then coming up to the episode that we're going to be doing on Wednesday, we're going to be doing a builder to Exeter City, where Mr. Wareham is now playing his football, and thank God he's not here anymore. Not him, just his family. For that. So we will be talking about that. We will talk about other points. I will try and do some sort of tactical breakdown thing that I feel like that we're going to need to do. But the fans in the stadium were getting more and more frustrated. And the last time I heard this, it wasn't long until the manager was sacked. The frustration was felt all around, I think, today. You watch this would be yesterday for you, but I'm recording this the night before because actually when this video goes live, I'm taking my wife out for some lunch. Just husband and wife time. Been working a lot, so I'm just going to treat my wife. Right. Sport time. Let's do it. First off, we're going to be talking about sport. And we're going to be going straight into it, and we're going to be talking about the Women's Rugby World Cup final, where England have won the Women's Rugby World Cup final for the third time. If I can, don't know. But it's the first time they've won it in 11 years. They were able to win it, beating Canada 33-13. What I want to say is I want to give a huge shout out to Canada. Not only before the event did they do a GoFundMe and they raised over £1 million for them to be able to participate inside of this Rugby World Cup, but the way that they were able to do it and the way that they were able to beat teams, and they beat New Zealand, who was a big scout for them on the way to the final, who New Zealand did finish third from that game, and England just looked the better side, much more composed. And to hear all of the Welsh tears was fucking brilliant from that as well. And it was phenomenal to watch. So I want to say a massive congratulations to the women's rugby, and we're going to carry on the theme of women's World Cup action because we're now going to be talking about the ICC Women's Cricket World Championship, and we kicked things off yesterday for the English women's, where they went up against South Africa, where they bowled South African women's out for 69. Lol. And we were able to beat them on 73 runs. So we beat them by 10 wickets. And if you look at the runs and everything from South Africa, getting 5, 2, 4, 6, 22, 2, 3, 3, 6, 3, 8. It's just madness. And then if you look at the wicket keepers as well, Smith picking up 3 wickets. You had Suva Brunt who got 2, Eccleston getting 2, Din getting 2, Bell getting 1 from the bowling attack. And it was just phenomenal to watch that and the way that they did it. And if you look at the England's attack, the top 2, the strike, and it was 21 runs to Beaumont, and Jones got 40 runs from 50 balls. Absolutely incredible there, and getting 63 overall. 3 wides, 3 LBs, leg before wickets, 3 runs, and 9 wides. Jesus. South Africa need to control their bowling from that. But that is absolutely fucking superb. So I want to say a massive, huge congratulations to the England women for that. And I want to say it was absolutely superb for them. And I think I'm excited to watch more games. I was able to watch both of those, the Rugby Women's World Cup, and I actually watched that with my daughter. And I also watched the cricket. I got home from work I put it on in the background while I was editing and stuff for other videos that I was doing. And I had it on the TV and I had it on the background and watched it. And it's nice to see Nasser Hussain out there doing that, that type of thing as well. So great to see. Looking forward to seeing where they go. I don't know when their next game is. So let me just have a look. Today, fucking hell, India got 448 runs yesterday for you guys, compared to West Indies 100. Oh no, that's Test. ICC women's, it was abandoned between Sri Lanka and Australia. Tomorrow we've got Afghanistan versus Bangladesh, and we also then have in the ICC Cricket Women's World Cup as well. We have India versus Pakistan. That would already be on by the time this video goes out, so hopefully go check that out. New Zealand will be facing South Africa on Monday. Tuesday, England's next game, 10:30 start, and they are facing Bangladesh. So I will be able to watch that. No, I will. I will actually be able to watch some of that. I have to go and get my car fixed. But hopefully I'll get to go and watch some of that for that to see England pick out. But I will definitely be reporting on that next time out. We're going to be talking a little bit about rugby union quickly as well. Season has already started. Harlequins lost again to Leicester Tigers. We also saw Exeter beating Newcastle the Red Bull Falcons. Saracens destroying Bristol Bears. Fucking hell, 50-17. Bristol Bears, if I am correct, were the last year's winners, and they did not turn out. Owen Farrell kicking so many fucking conversions. Jesus, and a penalty as well. That is the proper Owen Farrell that we have seen before. But Bristol Bears losing their first game of the season so far. Oh no, it was Bath, sorry, that won it last year. Bristol Bears is the one with Lewis Rees-Zammit in there and out. And if we look at the Gallagher Premiership table, top of the table so far is Saracens and Bath, both top with Exeter and Leicester fourth. And my team, Harlequins, down in 8th out of 10. Newcastle Red Bull Falcons have sacked their manager as well. Don't know what they're going to do with that. Only one game into the season as well. So interesting to see how they shape things up and what they do moving forward from there. But it's interesting to see. I'm getting myself into rugby a little bit more. I'm learning about rugby a lot more, and I'm watching it a little bit as much as I can. I normally can't watch the Friday games due to the fact of I work, but Bath beating Sale 28-16, and Nottingham, that's the championship. But in the championship, Nottingham beat Doncaster 26-8 on there as well. But interesting to see how things go. And then tomorrow or today for you guys, we got in the Premiership Gloucester versus Northampton on tomorrow as well. So more rugby coming your way, and I will be trying to delve a little bit more into rugby union. I will not be able to give you the insightful that you could do for the Love of Rugby or any other podcast, but what I will do is just give you a little roundup of how things are going and how Harlequins are just like every team I ever pick, always fucking lose them. So interesting time for me. Formula One. Let's get into Formula One, because as you watch this, it will either be the start of the race. No, the race would have started about an hour or so later when this comes out at 12 o'clock. But the Singapore Grand Prix has started, and George Russell will be starting pole position for Mercedes, with Max Verstappen second, Oscar Piastri third, Antonelli fourth, Norris fifth, Hamilton sixth. I want to give a shout out to Hamilton after losing Roscoe earlier on this week. So sad. Roscoe has been a huge part of the Formula One community. The dog is an absolute legend. He's now with Coco as well, up there in doggy heaven. So to see the strength of the man who's only lost him a few days ago, and a lot of people come out to support him as well. So I hope he understands the love for Formula One fans and to everyone as well. Isaac Hadger will be 8th. Oliver Bierman will be 9th. The William boys will be starting from the back of the grid. They were disqualified for the size of their rear wing, but they will be starting at the back of the grid. I have no clue with Singapore. Max Verstappen could do a madness. Oscar Piastri could get his championship back onto winning ways, exactly what he needs to be doing. from there, because he's sort of fallen off a little bit over the last few races as well. If we look at the standings as well, Oscar Piastri is top on 324 points, but Lando Norris has 299 points on him. He's currently 25 points away from Oscar Piastri. Verstappen is on 255, Russell 212, and if you look at the Constructors' Championship as well, McLaren first, Mercedes second, Ferrari third, and Red Bull in fourth. Lots of things have happened there. And then finally, we're going to be talking a little bit about football. And then we're then going to be doing our NFL predictions. So make sure you stick around for that. I have got a dead leg, but we're going to be talking about that as well. Premier League action as well that happened yesterday for you guys. Leeds United losing to Tottenham Hotspur. Arsenal beating West Ham under the new manager of Nuno Espirito Santo. 2 losses in a row for Nuno. I think, no, 1 loss, 1 draw. For Nuno, where his first game was against Everton, a draw against them. But Bukayo Saka now has got his 100th league goal involvement, which includes goal and assist for himself. We also saw Manchester United pick up a victory that they had to pick up against Sunderland, where pressure was building on Almiron, but Mason Mount and Benjamin Sesko finally getting goals for Ruben Almiron's side to pick up a victory there for that. But if we look at the teams, was it the same 5 at the back? It won't tell me on here for that, but I know that there was talk that Manchester United might change that as well. And we just saw Liverpool losing again in the 95th minute, Moses Caicedo scored an absolute thunderbolt. I saw the highlight of that goal because I was actually driving home from the game that I went to with the Mighty Ding today. But I saw the highlight of that goal. What a goal that is. Cody Gakpo getting the goal for Liverpool. But Esteval getting the goal in the 95th minute for Chelsea, which heaps more pressure on Liverpool at the moment. They do sit currently second in the table, 1 point behind Arsenal in the table, where Tottenham sit third. Bournemouth are currently set fourth. Crystal Palace could potentially leap everyone, especially Liverpool as well, and go to second place with the game that they have in hand, who they will be playing when this video comes out on this day, where they will be playing Everton. If they could beat Everton, they are 19 games unbeaten in all competitions so far, and they have got the longest winning unbeaten streak so far in all top 5 European leagues. So Oliver Glasner is absolutely on form with them so far, pushing himself to get a bigger job. If I'm Arsenal, or if Arsenal don't win the league, I'd go for him. If I'm Man United, I'd put all my money on him. Chelsea as well, all of those type of sides, I would definitely. We have Aston Villa versus Burnley. Villa need to start picking up victories. Newcastle coming off an absolutely massive victory in the Champions League as well, going up against an already pressured Ange Postecoglou. I think the owner has realised his big fuckery that he's done by sacking Nuno Espirito Santo, and Ange Postecoglou is under pressure already, but he has the backing for the Newcastle game. But they don't win that, it will be interesting. And then we also have Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Burnley. Can Wolverhampton Wanderers finally be able to get a win this season? The only team in the league so far who haven't been able to pick up a victory. Can they beat Brighton Hove Albion? And Brentford will be facing Manchester City after an absolutely incredible performance so far that Brentford did against Manchester United. Can they come on with that after Manchester United drawing with Monaco 2-2 in the Champions League? But they did destroy Burnley 5-1 as well. Lots of good Premier League action for you as well. Lots of things have been going on. Lots of sport has happened this week. A lot of interesting way to do things. But what a way to do sports this week. Congratulations to the Roses for picking up the Women's Rugby World Cup. Congratulations to the Lionesses who were able to win the Euros earlier in the summer. And now it's all sights now set on the women's cricket. Can our young English women's go up against the team of India and try and beat them? I was actually going to end the video there, but then I have just realised I haven't done my NFL Week 5 and some of Week 6 predictions. Still waiting on, as of this recording, the Cleveland Browns versus the Minnesota Vikings that is happening at London. But if we look at the stats so far, I have 45 out of 66 games so far correct. I have one draw because I'm taking the Packers and the Green Bay as a draw. Don't care. Get over it. So let's get into this then, and let's go through them. We've got the Ravens versus the Texans. I am going for Ravens. Why are you doing that? Thank you. Next up, we got the Dolphins versus the Panthers. Obviously going for Dolphins because we won a game of football and I predicted we would win, and I am a clever bastard. Next up, we've got the Colts versus the Raiders. I am going with the Colts. I think Danny Dimes has been an absolute revelation for the Indianapolis Colts, and I think he's going to carry on with that against the Raiders. Saints versus the Giants, two shit teams going toe-to-toe, but I do think the Giants are going to come out on top of that one. We got the Jets versus the Cowboys, and unfortunately, I think we're going to find out how them Cowboys. I will be picking them for that. We got the Eagles versus the Denver Broncos. I am obviously going to go for the Eagles because I'm not stupid. And they just about beat the Rams, by the way. If you have seen that game, by God, was it close. We got the Tennessee Titans versus the Cardinals, and I am going Cardinals. I think they are a good win for that. Seahawks versus the Bucks. I think I'm going to go Seahawks for this one. They've done me well so far with my predictions, and I'm expecting them to carry on with how they've been doing. The Bengals versus the Lions. We're obviously going to go with the Lions because the Bengals look like absolute dog shit without Joe Burrow. The Chargers versus the Commanders. I'm going to go... as it's looking like Jaden Daniels is back, I'm going to go with Commanders. Bills versus Pats. Obviously, anyone with a brain is going to go with Buffalo Bills. And then we've got the Monday Night Football where we have the Chiefs versus the Jags. And I am obviously, because I have a brain and Miss Swift has got an absolutely unbelievable album out, going to go for the Chiefs. The Thursday Night Football for beginning of Week 6, we'll see the Giants versus the Eagles. And obviously, because I have some part of a brain left, I will be going with the Philadelphia Eagles. And the next London game before we come up with this video will be the Jets against the Broncos. And I am going to go for Broncos on this one because I refuse to pick the Jets. So they are my Week 5 and Week 6 predictions. Go and check my socials as I will be keeping up to date with how things are going. But make sure if you haven't already to like and subscribe and stick around for more. And see you guys very soon.